This week, our draft analyst, Jonathan Cavoni, was down in Australia and saw Lamelo playing at a really high level there. Lamelo will be able to negotiate kind of a big traditional shoe deal, right? The Nikes, the Adidases, the Brand Jordan. That's going to be a benefit.
Definitely. I mean, he gets to go through the real actual process. I mean, when I was coming out, we was just working on Big Baller Brand. That's what it was. I didn't take any meetings with anybody else. And it was already kind of set for me. But for him, I tell him all the time, like, talk to everybody. Take every meeting. And then whoever wants you the most, man, go with them.
Looking back, would you have gone and done all those?
For sure. I told him, make sure he takes control of his career now. Don't wait like I did.
Now, as you can see, Lonzo has had some regret about the way he has handled his career early on. He wishes he would have done some different things, and he kind of expressed that to Lamelo. Now, I have felt the type of way about Lamelo, Puma, Big Baller Brand, Lonzo, and I kind of beat around the bush, but I'm going to get into it today. Ball Facts coming back at you again, and we gonna give you the facts. Okay, I'm gonna get into some of the ownership aspects, some of the family unity, some of the legacy, some of the generational wealth, but before we go there, let's talk about Lonzo watching Lamelo ball. Right now, Lonzo is having flashbacks to when he was the number one prospect, when the world was screaming his name. Have you heard them screaming his name lately? No, they just been screaming at the TV, make your layups. So he's like, if I could do it all over again. And some of the things he might want to do over again wouldn't affect his game, but it might affect his popularity, his acceptance in the NBA, which you think that doesn't mean a lot to these guys, and they might tell you it means nothing to them. But when they walk on that court, when they walk in the locker room, they want to be respected and accepted by their peers. If you go the traditional route in whatever industry you're in, you're more respected. If you can be a great scientist, but if you have a GED, they will not respect you as much as the guy with the PhD. And that's just what it is. So here we go. Lamelo, big name. Big shoe companies always go for big names. Lonzo was a big name, but he stuck with Big Baller Brand. He feels like if I would have went with a bigger brand, maybe, just maybe, the media would have took it easier on me. Just maybe I wouldn't have had as much pressure, and just maybe I would have performed better. That has to be in the back of his mind if he never says it. Even if he never says it, that has to be in the back of his mind as a possibility of what could have happened. And let me tell you, he sees that Lamelo takes Lonzo's advice and does something different than the family this time. He goes and he gets a shoe deal with Puma. And everybody's going crazy. Lonzo sees that. Lonzo sees, like, he's thinking the independent mind, the mind void of the family decision, might actually start being some of the best decisions. Now, I don't agree with that necessarily, because I'm all about family unity and what's best for your family and generational wealth. But let's stick to subject. So we got Liangelo and Lamelo and Lonzo all sitting on Rock Nation, and we're like, oh, that's cool, they're together. And then out of nowhere, boom, Lonzo leaves Rock Nation and goes and signs with Klutch Sports Agency. A lot of people are speculating a Nike deal might come out of that. But what we do know is Lonzo is now correcting what he believes were mistakes in the beginning. And he's saying, I got to think for myself. And LeVar, you have to remember this. You've trained them in family unity, but you've also showed them that I'm LeVar Ball. I do what I want when I want, and I can't be controlled. And they see that. So, of course, they're going to follow in the lane of, like, I'm going to speak what I want. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to do what I want. Like, it's my mouth. They are going to be your sons at the end of the day, LeVar.
I mean, everything I say usually ends up getting out there some type of way. I don't think it was anything I said that was bad. It's just I speak the truth and it ends up making the media.
Now, does that not sound exactly like LeVar Ball? I don't bite my tongue. I speak the truth. And if they catch it on camera, they catch it on camera. So what? That sounds a lot like his dad. And let's hope, Some of that fierceness comes on the court. From what I'm hearing, Lonzo is locked in and he is fine-tuned. He's ready to really attack this next season. He's going to put the work in to do it. And I'm glad to hear that, and I believe it. But I also want to touch on kind of the effect that LeVar Ball has had on the culture, on his family, and really just speak to that. Because people see this as a fail for LeVar when his son signs with someone other than Big Baller Brand. But I want to say to all the fathers that hit me up and talk about business, they ask me like, how can my son's 5 years old. How can I get him to love what I love or do what I do? How can I persuade him? All these tough questions. They say, I got a son. He doesn't want to take part in the business. Listen, guys, when kids are younger, none of the Ball brothers are 25. You have all kind of chemical balances going on. You have different things, peer pressure. You have society. All these things coming at your kids, especially in today's day of age. Back in the day, you are a blacksmith, you're going to be a blacksmith. Well, now we have Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. We have Instagram, we have YouTube. Your kid has options, so they're going to look around. But never fear. Instill in them all that you can as far as morals, as far as family unity, as far as the business. And you got to let the chips fall where they may, because you don't know what happens in the future. See, when things get tough, they're going to remember what mom or dad said. So while they're riding high, even if they're against it, they're going to fall back on their foundation. All you can do is lay the foundation. And sometimes your kids will take 4 out of the 10 things that you instilled in them, and sometimes 8 or 9. But if you have 10 sons, I'm telling you right now, 7 of them will not want to be in the family business, and that's just the way it is. But do not fear, because it used to be a long time ago, all the sons went into the family business, and as time went on, the middle class and the lower class, they lost that. The elite richest people, they continue it to this day, and they have generational wealth, and they control everything, and they call us dumb in meetings, but in the media they put out there, be your own man. And be your own man, it just means be separate to them, and that's not what it means. But with all that being said, Lonzo, do your thing, do what you want to do. Lamelo, do what you want to do. Liangelo, do what you want to do. I have faith, and I believe that what LeVar instilled in them will come to the surface. The cream will rise to the top when it's definitely needed at a certain time. You let the chips fall as you may. LeVar, you didn't fail. In the world where everybody says what you're doing is wrong, you prevailed and you did it anyway, and you gave it a shot. And it's not done, because sometimes things skip a generation. The boys' kids could see how everything turned out and say, wow, 20 years from now, they're watching Ball in the Film and they're like, oh, they should have done it. They should have stuck with it. Entrepreneurship is getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. Ownership, things could change in the future. We don't know how people's mindset will begin to change. Right now, people really value ownership on a low level. It's devalued. $100 million, they can value that because they can see it, they can touch it, they can feel it. Ownership is not something that you can just touch and feel right away, so they don't think it's worth anything. But ownership is so valuable. And if you don't believe me, I cannot convince you, and I will not try to convince you that ownership is worth a lot of money. But LeVar only set out to really help his family, get in the NBA, have his boys win, have his boys play together. He didn't set out to inspire a generation of people to say family is important, man. Wow, pouring into your kids is really important. He didn't set out to be an example of how to really support your kids' dreams, of how to, even though a lot of people knock him, tons of people respect him. You don't always have to like a person's personality. You don't always have to like their language. But what you can see in their actions is the love and the motivation and why they do what they do. And with LeVar Ball, you can see that he is motivated to help his family. And not just when he's alive. He wants to, when he passes away, he wants to smile on that deathbed and be like, at least I know we own something and my great grandchildren are taken care of. That was his goal. And guess what? This is the crazy part. LeVar has become a force on his own. Like, there will be people that still rock Big Baller Brand just because of LeVar. It ain't like, oh, they all signed with somebody else, let me burn my Big Baller shirts. No, the Big Baller Brand shirts, like, the value even goes up to some of us who are genuine and say, yeah, we're still rocking this. We love the journey. We love the experience. And no matter what you do, you cannot get rid of LeVar Ball and his effect that he's had on the game, on the culture. When he came in, he put his mark, it's stamped, and they could try to erase him forever, but he solidified. And we still got to see what the middle child, Jello, is going to do. He's always stuck with Big Baller Brand, but with his brothers doing different things, like, we never know. He could switch too. He still wants to be loyal to his family, and he will be, but you got to let kids be kids and experience things. What 19, 20-year-old didn't do something their parents doesn't like? I don't know one. Maybe you guys know him. I don't know one. But Jello is the sleeper. Jello is the one that everybody, he's the left hook that you don't see coming in the match that will knock you out, you and your mama out, you know, because you feel it that hard. So they put him in and give him 35 minutes and touches, and they're going to be shocked about Liangelo. But as far as we know right now, G3 is Big Baller Brand, Rock Nation. Anything can happen, guys. You have to stay tuned with this family. I do want to say, Lonzo, congratulations on doing what you want to do. I like that people at least do what they want to do and they aren't controlled. You know, if you are going to stay with your family brand or stay with this agency, do it because you want to and not because you're being made to. So congrats. I'm hoping all the best for you, Lonzo, in this season. I'm rooting for you. I'm not going to turn my back. Do what you got to do, bro. LeVar, you already know I gave you your kudos and your props because it's well deserved. Lamelo, Liangelo, how do you guys feel about Lonzo leaving? Because, you know, he's big bro. He's usually always set the table and set the example. Are you guys gonna stay on Rock Nation? Of course, we know Lamelo with Puma, he's not leaving. I don't think he's leaving at all. But we have to see what's coming up next, guys. This is a roller coaster of a journey going on with the Ball family. And you know, Ball Facts is always on the side of the coverage that's gonna keep you updated. Got to, can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller, no, that's not Rockefeller Records. Ball Facts message. All right, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Go to shopballfacts.com to get your Ball Facts hat. You know what it is. Ball Facts again. Peace.